Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you all of the books that are on my physical TBR cart for the rest of this year. It isn't actually in a particular order because I'm a mood reader, so I've just put on everything that I do want to get through this year. Also, I've noticed like I've missed off quite a few things. Like I want to put on the rest of all of the Shadowhunters books that I haven't even put them on. I don't know if I've put them on yet, but we'll just have to see. So this is my TBR cart. I've got it like this is the first part, and then we turn it around and then it's here, and then you've got to turn it back around, and then it's this way and back around again, and then it's this way and back around again, and it's the bottom row, and then back around one more time, and then it's this bottom row. So I want to kind of just get stuck into like what I'm firstly reading. So at the moment I've literally only picked this up once, but I'm currently reading The Assassin's Blade of the Throne of Glass novellas. Well, this is The Throne of Glass novellas by Sarah J Maas. I've been told like it's just best to read this first before you like proceed with the rest of the Throne of Glass series, so I'll be doing that. And then I'm currently reading The Final Gambit by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. This is the third book in her series. Loving it so far. I'm kind of slowly getting through it because I know it's the third and last book of the series, so I'm just kind of like wanting to just drag it out as best as I can to really like stay in this universe, which is going to be sad when it's finished. And the next book I've got by Elsie Silver. This is Heartless. This is a little tiny bit bigger than the first book, which was Flawless. And that book was about Summer and Rhett. And I think this book is about Summer's best friend and Rhett's brother Cade. I'm really excited. Apparently this is like really good. Then I've never ever read an Alice Feeney book before, but I've got Alice Feeney. It's a shame that this is a different cover because I was expecting the grey white marble one, but this is Rock Paper Scissors by Alice Feeney. I'm really excited for this one. I've heard amazing things for this one. The next book is Malibu Rising by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I'm so disappointed that I still haven't read this, and I've heard nothing but great things of this book, and I just cannot wait to see the same characters. Apparently Mick River is like in all of her books, which is so funny. So I'm really excited to see him pop up. I think, oh my god, I literally just turned to a page and you see the word Mick River. What? Yes, I'm really excited for this one. I also bought, with one of my credits on Audible, the audiobook, and I want to try and like read at the same time listening to this. It'll be really fun because I'm trying to also test like how fast I can read. Next book I wanted to reread the Nick and Charlie Ellis Osman book because I really thoroughly enjoyed it, and I was screaming just like noticing like their development and them growing up. I was so excited. So I do really want to reread this. I feel like just like rereading all of the Alice books every year will be good for me. Stop. Okay, then I've got the second book in the Magnolia Parks universe. This is Daisy Hates. I definitely need to get onto this. After I finish reading one of the books of either the Assassin's Blade or the Final Gambit, then I will start reading Heartless and then just keep going and adding. Yeah, so this is Jessa Hastings' Daisy Hates. Really excited for that one. Apparently it's giving like Italian mafia vibes, which I'm so excited for. And then I previously talked about a lot of Holly Jackson books in my last video. This is 5 Survive. I'm hoping this is extra scarier. So Holly Jackson is the infamous writer of the A Good Girl's Guide to Murder books. Really keen for 5 Survive. Bit different. This one is about, okay, so the blurb says, "You can't see me, but I can see you. If you try to run, I will shoot. Red Kenny is on a road trip with 5 friends when their RV breaks down in the middle of nowhere. This is no accident. Someone is out there and someone wants one of them dead. With 8 hours until dawn, the 6 friends must escape or work out which one of them is the target. Buried secrets will be forced to light and not everyone will survive the night. A heart-pounding addictive YA thriller from the multi-million bestseller author A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. Okay, so I DNF'd this, and I should not have DNF'd this, but I was going through a phase. I'm only up to chapter 6, so I'm definitely just going to like take this bookmark out and restart it. But this is beach read. I'm so stupid. I can't believe I still haven't read it. I've read 2 of Emily Henry's books so far now. I have all of them, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, this is so silly of me. So I'm excited. It's about to start getting a bit warmer in Australia, so it'll be really good going into summer. But we are almost going to spring, but spring can get quite hot here. So I'm just going to keep reading it. I'm literally on the beach, so it just feels perfect to read this. Cannot wait. I started reading it, but I think I was reading too many books at the same time, and I was like, I need to just make sure I give enough. I want to give more attention to it. Then I've got Before the Coffee Gets Cold by, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm not really good with pronouncing this name, Toshikazu Kawaguchi. I think that's how you say it. Before the Coffee Gets Cold. I am so excited for this book. Apparently it's about like travel, like, isn't it? If you could go back, who would you want to meet? In a small back alley in Tokyo, there is a cafe which has been serving carefully brewed coffee for more than 100 years. But this coffee shop offers its customers a unique experience, the chance to travel back in time. In Before the Coffee Gets Cold, we meet 4 visitors, each of whom is hoping to make use of the cafe's time traveling offer. In order to confront the lover who left them, receive a letter from their husband whose memory has begun to fade, see their sister one last time, and meet the daughter they never got the chance to know. But the journey into the past does not come without risks. Customers must sit in a particular seat. They cannot leave the cafe. And finally, they must return to their present before the coffee gets cold. Oh my god, that just sounds so cool. And look at how cute this cover is as well. Like, I just can't get over this. I'm so excited to read it. So I haven't read a Colleen Hoover book since Starts With Us book. But this book, Verity, is like a completely different vibe to all of our other books. It's a thriller, very exciting. It says, a thriller that will keep you up all night and a twist that will leave you reeling. Everyone said that in their fan cast they were picturing Blake Lively as the main character in this book as well. So can't wait to get stuck into it, really. I've had this book for ages. Everyone last year and this year still has been like ranting and raving about this beautiful book called Archer's Voice by Mia Sheridan. And I'm so excited. I am actually so excited. Apparently it's about a male who does not talk, and then a woman that like they fall in love, but they might have a different way of communicating. I'm not sure. I wanted to lose myself in the small town of Pelion, Maine, to forget everything I had left behind. The sound of rain, the blood, the coldness have begun against my skin. For 6 months, each breath has been a remainder that I survived, and my dad didn't. I'm almost safe again, but the moment I met Archer Hale, my entire world tilts on its axis and never rights itself again. Until I trespass into his strange, silent, and isolated world, Archer communicates with no one. Yet, in his whiskey-coloured eyes, something intangible happens between us. There's so much more to him than just his beauty, his presence, or the way his hands communicate with me, on me. But this town is mired in secrets and betrayals, and Archer is the explosive centre of it all. So much passion and so much hurt, but it's in Archer's silence that we might just find what we need to heal and to live. That actually sounds so good and so interesting. And oh my god, whiskey-coloured eyes. Oh, I'm so excited. This is another book that I DNF'd accidentally. I actually, there was no reason. It's the same for Beach Read. There was literally no reason other than just getting too swamped up with so many other things that I was reading. But this, honestly, it was going so well. And I bought this book because I was really invested in the movie, Passengers, I think it's called, with Jennifer Lawrence, and I just loved it so much. Like, I'm obsessed with anything to do with space. Anything, like, I'm obsessed with it. So I can't wait to get stuck into this. It's about a lone astronaut, an impossible mission, an ally he never imagined. I'm really excited. Oh my god, the main character's name I think is Ryland Grace. And look at the font, like, it's really, really nice. This is Hail Mary by Andrew Weir. Is that how you say it? Andrew Weir. The multi-million copy best-selling author of The Martian. I might have to get on that one as well. Very thick, very exciting. I want to read this like by itself. I don't want to read another book at the same time because it's nice and thick, but I really just want to like project most of my energy just onto this. Oh, sorry, it says Project Hail Mary, not just Hail Mary. I'm so excited for this book. I got this book because I've watched every season of Gilmore Girls, and apparently this book reminds people of Gilmore Girls, specifically Luke. Luke's my favorite character. This is Beartown by Frederick Backman. Is that how you say it? I actually have no idea like what this is about. I genuinely haven't even read the blurb. I just bought it because everyone kept saying, get it, get it, get it. It says, Beartown is a small town in a large Swedish forest. For most of the year, it is under a thick blanket of snow, experiencing a cold and dark that brings people closer together or pulls them apart. Its isolation means that Beartown has been slowly shrinking with each passing year. But now the town is on the verge of an astonishing revival. A bright new future is just around the corner, until the day it is all put in jeopardy by a single brutal act. It divides the town into those who think it should be husbanded up and forgotten, and those who will risk the future to see justice done. Can one young man find the courage to speak a truth no one wants to hear? Ooh, that sounds really cool. And I love the cover because it literally just looks like a town. And apparently this is on HBO. Moving swiftly on, the last thing on my first part one of Cart 1 is the third book, Powerless by Elsie Silver. And look, it's got figure skating skates, so I'm really excited because I am obsessed with figure skating, and if there was any kind of way I could make that a regular hobby for me, like to just do it for fun, I would literally scream. And that was actually one of my goals this year. I put it on like one of my New Year's resolutions to like do more ice skating, but I've only gone ice skating I think once this year. Apparently this is a continuation of all the people in like the brothers' lives in the Elsie's in the Chestnut Springs series books. Carrie Soto is Back by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I have absolutely no idea what this is about either. My cousin, who's my roommate, has read this before, and I've watched a few of my favorite booktubers talk about this book as well. They've said nothing but good things. It's a very high rated book. I just want to see what this Laura Jane Williams has quoted. She said, an exhilarating, immersive and gripping ode to the cost of greatness. This is Taylor Jenkins Reid's best book yet. Carrie Soto is an icon for the ages. 5 stars, 10 out of 10, an A+, and more from me. Wow. And then there's a little note after the blurb. It says, in spite of it all, Carrie Soto was back for one epic final season. In this riveting and unforgettable novel, Taylor Jenkins Reid tells her most vulnerable, emotional story yet. A portrait female ambition in all its raw and divine glory, Carrie Soto will stay with you long after the last page is turned. I'm excited. So it's apparently about tennis. This famous girl, she's making a return. Apparently there's a bit of subplot romance. Really excited because I love books that aren't entirely just about romance. Just having like a subplot is, chef's kiss for me. I've also DNF'd this book once. I got to like chapter 3 and I was like, oh shit. I was like not really getting into it, but I'm going to try again. This is The Cruel Prince by Holly Black. It's giving like fairy vibes, elves, fantasy. It is a fantasy novel. It's a big series. I have all the books. I need to just continue trying. I don't know. I guess I tried reading this at the same time. I got stuck into all the Sarah J Maas books last year. And I think, yeah, maybe it just outdid it. You know, like maybe I think it's not a maybe. I know I know those books were just in my heart. They still have a massive place in my heart. I have also had this book since the start of like my booktube journey, and I've just never read it. It's The Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller. I actually don't know what it's about either. It's giving like Greek goddess vibes, I think. I'm really excited. Apparently, oh my god, no, because I've seen so many people review this book but not like give any spoilers, and apparently people have said the first 90% of this book is just amazing, and then the last 10% of the book, people are like, either they hate it so much or they're just completely heartbroken. And I'm like, oh my god, I'm quite nervous, you know what I mean? Next book, I have like literally only read, I think I've only read one Sally Rooney book, and I just was like instantly like, wow, there are no quotation marks in this, and I was freaking out. It was in Normal People, but I ended up like really getting through it quite easily for some reason. So this is Sally Rooney's Conversation with Friends, and I'm very excited to read this. This sounds like a very vulnerable book. It sounds like a whirlwind. It sounds like something I would really, really enjoy. Then I've got Here for the Right Reasons by Jodie McAllister. I've heard nothing but good things as well. Apparently it's like similar to, you want to think like Going on The Bachelor, like a TV show, I think. Gonna read that. Very cute. The Love Hypothesis by Ali Hazelwood. I still haven't read this. I don't know why. I honestly cannot tell you. I don't have an excuse. I just have been quite late to the party, but I'm excited because I love things that have, I love like, okay, so I love like romance things, right? But I don't like how romance is the big major only theme. Like I love when there's something else going on, like it could be fantasy. Most of the time it's always something fantasy related, but this is about like scientists. Like that's just going to add such an amazing element. It's going to make me feel, I just feel like it's really going to make me, I'm sick of that. That's really pissing me off. I just feel like it's going to make me be reeled in. I feel like I'm going to be reeled in. Really exciting. Okay, next books. I've got Josh and Hazel's Guide to Not Dating by Christina Lauren. I heard nothing but good things. I forgot who recommended this in a video. I think it was Sarah Crowley. I think that's how you say it. Sorry. This is pissing me off. Just friends. That's what it says on the back. Christina Lauren hilariously depicts modern dating. Oh, okay. It's just like a modern dating cute vibe. Romance for the 21st century. I don't really want to read the blurb. I can't be bothered. Next book. I've actually read this book before, but I didn't have the physical copy of it when I was reading it because I read it when it first came out, but it wasn't even in Australia yet when it came out. I read it like the week that people were posting about it on their YouTube, because I think like lots of booktubers might get like certain books sent to them so that they can read and review by indie authors. I'm not sure if Hannah Grace is an indie author anymore, but I read this on my iPad when it first came out, but I'm excited to reread it. This is just a reread. I'm so excited. I read this really quickly as well. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It is a sports romance. I love sports romance so much. It is called Icebreaker. It is about Anastasia Allen, who is a figure skater, and Nate. Sometimes you'll see Nathan, sometimes you'll see Nathaniel. It gets a bit confusing. But yeah, Nate, he is a hockey player, an ice hockey player, I should say, and their worlds collide. There's a lot that goes on. I found it was very sexual, and I got really into it. I really loved it. Although and I gave it a 5 stars, but my most, like, after I like really started like thinking about it after a while, I was like, every chapter was like a sex scene. So if you're into that, go for it. It's really good, but I'm definitely going to reread this. I love it. I just want to have like this. I want to annotate it. That's why I've got it physically, because I was like obsessed with it. I just want to annotate it, underline my favorite lines, because they have like a really cool relationship. I think she's a Virgo. I think she even says in the book she's a Virgo from my memory. Okay, next book. This is Things We Never Got Over by Lucy Score. Very excited. I've heard nothing but great things about this. He's absolutely not falling for the good girl. That's what it says on here. Bearded bad boy barber Knox prefers to live his life the way he takes his coffee, alone. Oh, Naomi wasn't just running away from her wedding. Too bad for Naomi, her evil twin hasn't changed at all. There's a reason Knox doesn't do complications or high maintenance women, especially not the romantic ones. He wouldn't like me then. At least that's the plan until the trouble turns to real danger. She sounds fab. There's a lot more, but I just didn't want to add. I'm tired. I have to work soon. Okay, I think this is the fourth and final book in the Chestnut Springs series at the moment. I'm not sure if it's going to have a continuation, but this is about Theo Silva. We've already met Theo in the first book, Flawless, that I read, so I'm really excited. I think I love this cover the best as well. No, actually, I'm not going to say the best, but I think this one, like the color, my favorite, and the art, but I also like the art implements of the first book as well, with like the bull and stuff and the whip, which is really cute. So I'm not sure what this is about. It says Theo Silva, rowdy bull rider, notorious ladies man, scorching hot trouble, wrapped up in a drool-worthy package, and he's looking at me like I might be his next meal. Ooh, really won me over with the first book, so I'm excited. I bought this next one, I bought this book ages ago, and I've been dying to read it because I'm really into sports romance. I got this book the same time I got the Icebreaker book as well. This is The Cheat Sheet by Sarah Adams, and I'm a dancer as well, so I saw that she was a dancer and I was like, I have to get this. Okay, so it says, discover the friends to lovers romance that becomes a sensation on TikTok. Okay, so main girl, her name is Bree, and best friend, so it's a best friend relationship as well, friends to lovers. NFL legend Nathan Donaldson. They have to pretend to be in love for 3 whole weeks. Is now the moment for Bree to finally act on her hidden feelings, and it is possible that Nathan has been hiding some of his own. This just sounds like something that I would just eat up. Next book I have, so this is now everything off the top first row. We have The Final Girl Support Group by Grady Hendrix. I was recommended this by Hot Girl Literature. I forgot her name, but she's a Bookstagram girly. And I saw if like with certain like horror like certain movies and stuff, like I really enjoyed the movie X and Pearl. They're like brand new. I don't know if they're brand new actually, but relatively new horror movies, horror thriller movies that are out at the moment on Amazon Prime. Clever, gleefully violent, self-aware deconstruction of the genre. Okay, so I was going to go into this blindly because I've never even seen the blurb either. Sizzles with action, originality, and a gleaming concept sharp as a scalpel. Okay, and this is a Goodreads Choice Awards 2021 for Honor winner. Very exciting. Okay, it says, in horror movies, the final girl is the one who's left standing when the credits roll. The one who fought back, defeated the killer, and avenged her friends. The one who emerges bloodied but victorious. But after the sirens fade and the audience moves on, what happens to her? Lynette Tarkington survived a massacre 22 years ago, and it has defined every day of her life since, and she's not alone. For more than a decade, she's been meeting with 5 other final girls and their therapists in a support group for those who survived the unthinkable, putting their lives back together piece by piece. That is until one of the women misses a meeting, and Lynette's worst fears are realized. Someone knows about the group and is determined to take their lives apart again, piece by piece. But the thing about these final girls is that they have each other now. And no matter how bad the odds, how dark the night, how sharp the knife, they will never ever give up. I am so excited for this book. I've heard nothing but great things about it too. I'm very into horror movies. Like, I'm a horror movie buff. Like, I'm obsessed with them. I have Shatter Me by Tahirih Maffi. I'm so sorry if I'm not saying that correctly. I will do my research and make sure I say it correctly next time I ever talk about this series. I've heard it's a dystopian novel. I love dystopian movies, love dystopian books. I recently read The Hunger Games. Well, I reread it. Yeah, I'm really excited for this one. Apparently it's like if she touches anyone they all die, which is so cool. So I can't wait to read it. It's Radio Silence by Alice Oseman. I chose this book because apparently if you like the movie Lady Bird and if you are into like those kind of personalities, then definitely read this. I think it's this one. Yes, Radio Silence. It says, what if everything you set yourself up to be was wrong? Frances is a study machine with one goal. Nothing will stand in her way. Not friends, not a guilty secret, not even the person she is on the inside. Then she meets Allard. And for the first time, she's unafraid to be herself. So when the fragile trust between them is broken, Frances is caught between who she was and who she longs to be. Now she knows that she has to confront her past to confess why Karis disappeared. Frances is going to need every bit of courage she has. I don't know, that's just what I heard, that like apparently if you really like the movie Lady Bird, then definitely read something like that. And I was like, okay, cute. And I think it's cute. I got this book Lolita last year and I'm so scared to read it. Like I'm genuinely so scared. This is by Vladimir Nabokov and it's Lolita. It's about apparently a very young teenage girl, probably not, I think she's a preteen, 12-year-old daughter. The landlady's 12-year-old daughter. And it's about a man and who he's obsessed with her. A grown man, mind you. He'll do anything, will commit any crime to possess his Lolita. But once Lolita belongs to Humbert, once he has got what he wants, what's next? And what of Lolita? How long is she willing to be possessed? I am quite nervous to read this. I've still actually never watched the movie, but I've seen lots of clips of it on TikTok, and already that just pissed me off and scared me. So I thought, why not buy it? You know what I mean? I'm currently reading The Assassin's Blade. I think it's like the prequel novella, which is exciting for the Throne of Glass series by Sarah J. Maas. Then I'm starting Throne of Glass. I have heard nothing but amazingly great things for this whole series. I'm just so keen for it because I thoroughly enjoyed the ACOTAR series, so thought why not get into that. Apparently it's just about like a lot of assassins. They all are in their trials. I don't know, it just sounds really cool. Then I chose to reread. I've had this book for years, but it's been so long. I think I've had this since year 7 or year 8. I was like 12 or 13. The Devil Wears Prada by Lauren Weisberger, I think that's how you say it. And this is like a high fashion book. It's got a bit of comedy. It's a drama. It's awesome. I'm just so excited to reread this because the movie is fantastic. It's about this girl, Andrea, and she doesn't enjoy her other job apparently, so she for a whole year wanted to commit to getting a job in the fashion industry, like I think, what does she do? I've forgotten. Working at the most fashionable magazine, and because she's like good at her writing and good at her work, she'd be really good. And I've seen it, and she is a fantastic worker and continues to surprise everyone with how well she adapts to the place and tops everyone in there as well. She's better than everyone. I just absolutely love Anne Hathaway and Meryl Streep. Loved it so much, so I can't wait to reread that. I saw this movie when it first came out in the theaters and I was instantly so heartbroken, and I recently rewatched the movie on the plane home. Was it On the Way? Or I think it was On the Way, actually. Yeah, on the way to Queensland the last year for dance comps. And I just instantly was like, oh my God, I want to die. Like, it was full on. This is If I Stay by Gail Fuhrman. It is pretty much about this really talented young girl who's at high school, and she is a musician. Both her parents, I think, were musicians, if I'm trying to remember. And she meets this guy who is in a band, and yeah, all is really well with them. They're having a great time. He's a singer and he can play guitar. And then all of a sudden her life changes completely because her family and herself were in a car, and they were in a car crash, and it was snowing. I think obviously like the roads were very dangerous to drive on. Anyway, they crash, and she's the only one that has survived, except she's not entirely survived. She is living as her ghost self. Her body is in a coma, but she is like walking in the day like as a ghost and seeing what life is going, like what is happening with everyone else's lives, and she's trying to communicate with them all, and it's quite scary. Not as in like, oh, it's like a horror, it's not like that, but it's very uncomfy for her and everyone that loves her. They all know she's in a coma, and we see at the end something crazy that happens, and I can't say much. I've never read the book though, but I've had this book for years, and I thought, why not just add it to the TBR and read it? It's a small book, you'll enjoy it, surely I'll enjoy it, it'll be so fun. And I love music stuff, like I'm obsessed with that sort of shit. Like if that is like a major plot line, then I'm all in, and it is. Then I have To All the Boys I've Loved Before by Jenny Han. We all know we love Jenny Han. I'm so grateful for Jenny Han. This is the first book. I've actually never read it, but I have the whole series. I've watched the movies many times. We love Lara Jean. We love Peter. I'm excited. Got nothing else to say about it. Okay, then I've got 50 Shades of Grey because I really wanted to reread it. This is 50 Shades of Grey by E.L. James. Pretty much just about a virgin who is interviewing a prestigious man for a company. He has a lot of kinks. He finds her quite attractive and makes it a mission for himself to get her to be a submissive, yada, yada, yada. They have sex. It is very fun, and then they form a relationship, and it goes on for a few more books. It's quite fun. I'm excited. Next book, this is a fantasy book. It is Daughter of the Pirate King by Trisha Levenseller. I'm excited. I just saw that there was a pirate on there, and I was like, oh, I love that. I have no idea what it says on the back. There will be plenty of time for me to beat him soundly once I've gotten what I came for. Set on a mission to retrieve an ancient hidden map, the key to a legendary treasure trove, 17-year-old pirate captain Alosa deliberately allows herself to be captured by her enemies, giving her the perfect opportunity to search their ship. More than a match for the ruthless pirate crew, Alosa has only one thing standing between her and the map: her captor, the unexpectedly clever and unfairly attractive first mate Raiden. But not to worry, for Alosa has a few tricks up her sleeve, and no lone pirate can stop her. No lone pirate can stop the daughter of the Pirate King. Wow, that sounds fantastic. I can't believe I spent $28 on this book. Better read it. Then I thought, let's keep going with the fantasy stuff. This apparently is like an adaptation, like a retelling in a more sophisticated, more romantic, I don't know if it's got any romance in it actually, but more amplified in more of like a YA fantasy, like a fantasy version. This is Bravely by Maggie Stiefvater. I think that's how you say it. And apparently it's an adaptation of the Disney Pixar movie Brave. It says, to save her family, she'll have to be braver than ever before. 1 princess, 2 gods, 3 voyages, 4 seasons. Merida of Donbroch needs a change. She loves her family, jovial King Fergus, proper Queen Eleanor, the mischievous triplets, and her peaceful kingdom, but she's frustrated by its sluggishness. Each day the same. Merida longs for adventure, purpose, challenge, maybe even someday love. Wow, okay, and then there's more, but I'm just excited. Look at the cover. I was sold on the cover. I adore redheads. There is something so fantastically beautiful about them. I love it. My mum has ginger jeans, as in like ginger tinges in her jeans. She's obviously a brunette, but like we've got ginger tinge. I've got ginger tinge in my hair. We've got Alicia Thompson's Love in the Time of Serial Killers. I bought this thinking this was going to be a horror book, but apparently it's just like a romance, which I'm still excited for. It kind of reminded me of Veronica from Riverdale, so I was like, I have to get that because I'm obsessed with Cami Mendes. So one woman is going to have to learn how to give love a chance when she's used to suspecting the worst in this fresh romantic comedy. PhD candidate Phoebe Walsh has always been obsessed with the true crime. She's even analysing the genre in her dissertation, if she can manage to finish writing it. It's hard to find the time while she spends the summer in Florida cleaning out her childhood home, dealing with her obnoxiously good-natured young brother, and her grappling with complicated feelings of mourning a father she hadn't had a relationship with for years. It doesn't help that she's low-key convinced that her new neighbor Sam Dennings is a serial killer. He may dress business casual by day, but at night, he's clearly up to something. It's not long before Phoebe realizes that Sam might be something much scarier, a genuinely nice guy who can pierce her armor to reach her vulnerable heart. I don't know, it just sounds beautiful to be quite honest with you. Okay, then we've got The Handmaid's Tale by Vintage Atwood. Is it Vintage Atwood? Vintage Atwood, it says at the top, but on the side it says Margaret Atwood. This is by Margaret Atwood. I've heard this is such a show-stopping, like this, I've heard this is really, really good to read for women. Just as like a societal thing, you know, remembering your rights. Lola Tongue suggested, I'm pretty sure it was Lola Tongue, she said to read this book. Was it her, or it might have been Olivia Rodrigo? I don't know. One of them posted like a video on their Instagram reels talking about like education for women as well, and books being banned in schools and libraries. I don't know. Something about this book popped up. I've had this book for years and I thought, well, we need to get to it. We do need to get to it. Okay, and now I've got a devastatingly heartbreaking, sad book on my list. Apparently it's that. This is A Little Life by Hanya Yanagihira. I'm so sorry, I'm not good. I have no idea what this is about. A singularly profound and moving work. It is often that you read a book of this length and find yourself thinking, I wish it was longer. It's quite long. There's no blurb. It just says quotes from people. A devastating read that will leave your heart like the Grinch, a few sizes larger. Wow. It looks like they're in like an apartment building and there's lots of fire exits down here. I don't know. I'm excited to read it. People have like reread this book, annotated it and everything. I've heard this is a fantasy low-key, this next one. This is The House in the Cerulean Sea by TJ Klune. I'm very excited to read this. He expected nothing, but they gave him everything. Linus Baker leads a quiet life. At 40, he has a tiny house with a devious cat and his beloved records for company. And at the department in charge of magical youth, he spent many dull years monitoring their orphanages. Oh, it sounds so good! Oh, I'm reading the rest of it. Some six dangerous children reside, including the Antichrist. Ooh. He grows closer with people. Linus must choose between duty and his dreams. I love that. I'm very excited. All right. Apparently this has got everything to do with Tori Spring. We love Tori Spring. Apparently she's an Aries. If that happens one more time, I'm going to scream. So this is her POV in her time. It's still in the same Heartstopper universe. Very keen. Heartstopper in general is just brilliant. Solitaire by Alice Oseman. All the Bright Places by Jennifer Niven. I've seen the movie of this. It was so depressing. It's about this beautiful boy who has depression, I think. Is suffering, and he in his bedroom has like all these sticky notes of his feelings and just like things he talks about during the day. It's like a diary, but all on sticky notes on his wall. And he meets this girl and they change each other's lives, and then something really tragic happens. I remember my dad came home from work when I was watching this movie right at the end, and I was like literally choking on my tears, heaving and crying in the lounge. I'm like, no! I'm not going to spoil anything. That's fucking it! I'm sick of this! Sally Rooney's Beautiful World, Where Are You? I've heard this is really good. This is one of the greatest books to read in your 20s if you are feeling lost, blah, blah, blah. Very exciting. All right, another Colleen Hoover book, Reminders of Him by Colleen Hoover. Apparently, this is about a lady who has been in prison for 5 years for a tragic mistake, but has a daughter and she wants to reunite with the daughter, and then things happen along the way. Yeah, she forms a connection with someone despite the pressure surrounding them. Yeah, I'm very excited. I'll have to read that. Okay. This is Dear Evan Hansen by Val Emick. I'm a musical thespian, so I thought, wow, didn't realize this was a book. Gonna have to read the book. A letter that was never meant to be seen draws high school senior Evan Hansen into the family of Connor Murphy, a family grieving over the loss of their son. Suddenly, Evan Hansen is given a chance of a lifetime to belong. He just has to stick to a lie he never meant to tell, that Connor was his secret best friend. Suddenly, Evan isn't invisible anymore. Every day is amazing, but a simple lie can lead to very complicated truths. And there's a few songs in there, like he sings,
I won't slam on the brake before I even turn the key, before I make a mistake, before I leave with the worst of me. Give them no reason to stare, no sticking out if you slip away, so I got nothing to share, no I got nothing to say. Step out of the sun if you keep getting burned. Step out of the sun because you've learned, because you've learned. On the outside I was looking in, will I ever be more than I've always been, cause I'm tapping on the grass. I'm waiting through the window, I try to speak but nobody can hear, so I wait around for an answer to appear while I'm watching people pass. I'm waiting through the window, can anybody see, is anybody waving back me?
So tragic, that song. Wow. It's pretty much it's giving like introvert that just doesn't want to be like that anymore. Oh my god, can't wait to read it. Oh my god. One of Us is Lying by Karen M. McManus. Very excited. Apparently this is about 5 students. They walk into detention, only 4 leave alive. Wow, very exciting. So it's kind of like a horror thriller. All right, last but not least on my second row, let's get this quickly done. We have got Murakami by Kafka. Oh, sorry, this is Kafka on the Shore by Murakami. I just saw that this was a cat, and apparently this man can talk to cats, and I was like, I'm getting that. Let's move on. We're almost finished. I've got all the Maze Runner books, really exciting. This is by James Dashner. The movies are incredible. Cannot fault the movies at all. Love them. I just love the whole cast. Like, imagine having a shit cast. They wouldn't know because it's that good. Okay. Circe by Madeline Miller. Same author as the bow and arrow one, The Song of Achilles. Circe, in the house of Helios, god of the sun and mightiest of the Titans, a daughter is born. Circe is strange, not powerful and terrible like her father, nor gorgeous and mercenary like her mother, but she has a dark power of her own. Witchcraft! Oh my fucking god, I'm so excited. I don't know if this is a mystery thriller or even if this is thrilling, I'm not sure. This is 9 Perfect Strangers by Leanne Moriarty. And a health retreat really changed your life forever. It's giving a health retreat. Oh my god, I'm so excited. Divergent. This is the start of all the Divergent books. It's a dystopian novel. It's set still, like, it doesn't have any fantasy. It's all set like still in like America. So much shit happens. A lot of the kids are divided up into 4 factions. I think it's 4. Dauntless, Erudite, Candor, Abnegation. 4, I think. I'm missing something else. So much shit happens. Okay, Under the Whispering Door, same author as the Cerulean Sea one, T.J. Klune. His death was their beginning. Simply Perfect by V.E. Schwab. I don't know. Welcome to the Sharon's Crossing. The tea is hot, the scones are fresh, and the dead are just passing through. Oh, I spent $33 on this book. I have to read it. There's no way around it, guys. Okay, this is the third book of the Magnolia Parks books. I spent this $33 as well on this. Jessa Hastings can be injected into my veins. Her writing is absolutely phenomenal. Star-Crossed Sweethearts. This is like the continuation of the first book. Really excited. I can't say anything about it. I don't know anything about this book either, but I spent $23 on it. It's Stephen King's fairy tale. I just love Stephen King. I think he's fucked, as in like his brain is like a mastermind. So I thought, wow, like I just saw this sitting at the front, like recommended books at Dymocks at the time, and I got it. Oh my God. Okay, this is my favorite book in the entire world. Like my absolute number one favorite book. It is New Moon by Stephanie Meyer, and it is the second book of all the Twilight Saga books. I've never read the white version. There's no difference, but I have a black version and now I've got a white version. So I want to read the white version. Girl in Pieces by Kathleen Glasgow. You can spot the girls who have it easy. I don't even have to describe them for you. You can spot the girls who will get by on the smarts. You can spot the girls who will get by because they are tough or athletic. And then there is me. A haunting, beautiful, and necessary book that will stay with you long after you've read the last page. I have no idea what this is about. It kind of looks like thriller. I don't know. Who's read it? Let me know your thoughts. Don't spoil it though. Awesome. Okay, second last book is Norwegian Wood by Murakami. Same thing as the cat one that I was talking about, Kafka on the Shore. When he hears her favourite Beatles song, Toru Watanabe recalls his first love, Naoko, the girlfriend of his best friend Kazuki. Immediately, he is transported back almost 20 years to his student days in Tokyo, adrift in a world of uneasy friendships, casual sex, passion, loss, and desire, to a time when an impetuous young woman called Midori marched into his life and he had to choose between the future and the past. Ooh, stunning! This is the second book of the 50 Shades of Grey book. Oh, it's a bit thicker, isn't it? A little bit more sex. That's crazy. I'm sorry. So yeah, this is the second book of the trilogy. Can't say much about it. 50 Shades Darker by E.J. James. All done, all finished. The whole cart is completely finished. That's my physical TBR for the rest of the year. I've so far read 37 books and my goal was to read 50. Very exciting. Thanks for watching my video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Stick around for more to come because there will be more to come. I am going to be consistent and persist with making content. Very exciting, very, very fun. I love books. I love you. Thanks for watching.